Talk about the art of communication, especially in relationships. Before we do that, could you turn to somebody that you don't know in this group and introduce yourself, tell them your name, where you're from, and what you do. Take about. When I said to turn to somebody you don't know and introduce yourself, what was the first thing that crossed your mind? Any thoughts?
Slight nervousness.
Nervousness? Was there resistance?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have to do this.
Reluctance.
Reluctance, okay. And when you extended your hand and you introduced yourself, how did you feel?
The barrier is being lifted.
Barrier lifted, okay. What else? What went through your mind when the other person was telling you his or her name, where he or she's from, and what went through your mind?
We want to know the person more, become more excited.
Alright. Do you see yourself scanning the person? Like looking at the features, looking at what the person is wearing? Do you see yourself?
I think, I just think that it's nice that this person is looking for the same thing that I am.
Okay. Okay. So you feel in a way like a connection?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What else went through your mind?
For me here, I'm a little bit shy because I have to speak in English.
Okay.
My language is Portuguese.
Okay. So self-conscious?
Yeah.
You're feeling
yeah,
self-conscious? Okay. How about people at the back? How are you feeling?
For myself, I was looking for some common ground.
Common ground?
In
Okay.
the conversation.
Okay. Alright. And what were we doing? Right? We were communicating, not just verbally, we were also communicating on other levels, like when we were looking at the person, scanning the person, right, up and down. It's a form of communication, right? Our body language, whether we shook hands, whether we, how we shook hands, whether it was a limp handshake or a firm one, all right, that all makes a difference. That is communication. Okay, we are communicating. Yesterday I had lunch with a group of people, and the first time I was meeting many of the people in the group, and this lady, she gave me a very, very firm handshake. It was almost painful. And I was like, whoa! Alright, so different people communicate differently for different reasons. Alright? Now, in your relationship, I'm going to talk about romantic relationship for a start. I think this is a particular area that most people perhaps find most challenging. Okay? The reason why it is so challenging is because the closer you are, the more intimate you are in your relationship, you will find that your stuff is just going to be reflected back to you, like instantaneously. It's a mirror. So it can be quite challenging. Alright? So if the relationship is not so intimate, let's say a stranger, on the street, you don't feel that challenged because you don't have your stuff coming up, being reflected, unless the person does something to really get your attention, then you will feel challenged. But if not, you will find that the more intimate the relationship, the more challenging the communication is going to be. Now, the way to have a successful relationship is communication. I'm sure you all agree, right? Without communication, your relationship will die, it will suffer, the relationship will, as it were, lose its energy. It is only through communicating with each other that we build the energy up. So if you notice just now when you introduced yourselves, when you started, getting the conversation going, you felt this built up of energy, right, between two people. You were building up the energy, you were exchanging, and you felt, okay, this is nice, you're connecting with each other emotionally, you're connecting mentally as well. Right? So in romantic relationships, I would say most people obviously will start their romantic relationship on a high note. Right? When you are in a romantic mood, when you first get to know each other, you see what you want to see. Right? You see what you want to see. And after a period of time, you find that, goodness, this person has changed. But in truth, the person didn't change. Your perception of the person changed. Right? So at the beginning, you feel, of the relationship, it's like everything is wonderful, everything is beautiful. You feel every little thing that the person does for you, you feel touched. And you go like, wow, this person is so thoughtful, this person is so romantic, right? But over a period of time, that same act can become a source of irritation. Agree?
Yes.
Okay? Now,